Hi everyone, this is Keshav Reddy, SAP FICO trainer. So today we are going to be discuss asset accounting interview questions part 2 we're going to discuss. Earlier we discussed a few questions and related to the asset accounting, kind of like part 1 we discussed what is the depreciation and depreciation areas and chart of depreciation and depreciation areas, chart of depreciation, and asset classes in three different ways it will work. Correct? So, like asset classes, how it will work, and integration point of view. And next is integration point of view. GL masters. I mean, what are the scenarios it will work? How the assignment will have it will work. And what I can say, what is posting keys it will work, what document type generally will use, and depreciation intervals will use. These all points we discussed. Correct? Today will going to be used for a smoothing and a catch up video. For smoothing and catch up, there is a two important terminology I can say. So, what is the situation generally will use for these cases actually? So, where the situation is wrongly, where the situation I can say where the situation is like a where the situation is like a wrongly calculated the depreciation, one aspect, and second thing unplanned depreciation amount also. So wrongly the calculation of the depreciation, either we change the depreciation key or useful life to modify the in a particular asset. We are calculating the depreciation particular asset again. That will be the changes will happen. So the depreciation, if the changes happen, the difference amount how we'll treat it. For example, like a 4 months of depreciation, how we'll treat it. Either catch up and smoothing. There is two ways. So what the differences amount, the wrongly calculated amount, either by changing of the depreciation key or useful life, or at the time of unplanned depreciation amount. So whatever the difference amount, how the system will treat it. So the way of a system will treat, let's see, I'll show you here as I can say one of the example. Example here is so I have the acquisition of the one of the asset is a 1 lakh rupee. I have a acquisition happen. So 1/4/2022 I have given randomly that any asset that can be take laptop or whatever. So 1 lakh. So 10% is a depreciation fee. We have calculated. So 10% each year is a 10,000 rupees. For a month, that is a 833 is a per month depreciation. So this is a manner I have calculated the depreciation 4 months. April, May, June, July. I have calculated the depreciation with a 10%. 10%. April, May, June, July. August month, we have realized that this is supposed to be run to the 15%. So till 4 months, I have run to the 10% wrongly, but I supposed to run for the 15%. I supposed to be depreciation calculate 15%. So what is the 15% generally depreciation is a 15,000 rupees per year, and every month it is a 1,250 rupees every month. Actually, depreciation calculated. But how much we have done? 800 only. What is the difference for every month? 436 rupees less amount we have calculated. The meaning here is wrongly posted for a 4 months amount is a 1,617 rupees depreciation calculated. Correct? 1,600. So how we'll adjust this amount to the 1,667 rupees? How will you adjust it? If you see here is in the catch-up method how it will work. So depreciation amount, the difference amount, I mean every month 10% depreciation calculated. If you see here is that 15% onward from fifth period onwards, 15% 1,250. The difference amount, whatever the 1,600 and different, it when we realized August month completely it will be affected. This amount 1,600 will adjust August month itself. It will not adjust any more months. It will adjust August month only. So in the August, if you adjusted that amount, we call it is this adjustment amount and the regular depreciation 1,250, 2,900 and 1 month it will be affected. The difference amount will be in 1 month only it will affect it. Difference amount it will be affected. This is the catch up. The same scenario if we take smoothing cases, actually correct. 1,600 difference amount we have find it. That's it. So this it will not adjusted in single month. It will not adjusted single month. It will adjusted and difference amount. It will adjusted available periods of the current year. Whatever the year we are finding that complete year, how many available periods mean what the next available 4 we are already completed. So rest is available 8 months. For 8 months, this 1,600 it will be there. Every month, some amount it will be adjusted. Example, if you see, there are 2 points. One is the adjustable amount. and change the depreciation. Earlier 10, it is a 15% of depreciation from August onwards. Depreciation will be calculated. The 15% is at 1250 rupees is the depreciation. The difference amount, what is wrongly calculated in a 4 months of amount, every month 280 depreciation will be calculated. Okay, so every month depreciation will be the 1458 every month for a complete year. It will complete year depreciation will be calculated. So every month small it will be adjusted. That will be, it will not impacted any quarter result for it actually. Correct? No? That is one thing. So the difference amount only adjusted to current year. So no impact the catch up and smoothing, I can say, especially smoothing, no impact in the past and future years. It will not impact in future years or past years. It will not impact it. So this is the smoothing and catch up actually. Okay. So next is, I can say, next we'll move on to the next we'll move on for here is transaction type. So next question is the transaction type. You can see generally this is more classifications it will have. So if you see, if you remember, generally we will go for like posting keys. Sorry, posting keys like in vendor master posting keys. If you see 30, 31, more classification purpose it will use. Correct? No? The similar manner here is transaction keys. Sorry, transaction type. It will more classification of the asset accounting. More classification of asset accounting means like a acquisition. Take as a acquisition. There are different acquisitions we have. 100. Like general acquisition. External acquisitions, intercompany acquisitions, in-house acquisition. So like that, many different kind of acquisitions we can do. The same thing retirement, same thing asset transfer. So asset transfer. So the more classification purpose, one is a transaction type it will help. Secondly, by using a transaction type, we can control the depreciation area postings. For example, you want to post like you are using to the almost 5 depreciation areas. Example, 5 depreciation areas we are posting. We are using the posting to 5 depreciation area. You want to post only any specific adjustment entries, only 2 depreciation areas you want to post it. How it is possible? Only this is possible. G depreciation key, G type customized transaction type will create it. In the transaction type, will include these 2 depreciation keys, whatever depreciation areas we want to post it. Those depreciation areas will include it in the transaction type, and then by using this transaction type, we'll post it. These 2 depreciation areas values will post. Okay. So if normally it will post all the depreciation areas, but here is only a specific depreciation portal. If you remember, like a leading non-leading ledger, what we'll create it. We'll use the 3 ledgers, but we have created 1 ledger group. It included the 2 ledgers will include it. Correct now? When we post the transaction ledger group as specified, the values will flow only specific 2 ledgers only, not for all. Correct now? The similar way it will okay. Second thing is a depreciation key. This is one of the most relevant, importantly, I'll ask you for interview question. What is the depreciation key? What is the depreciation key? So in a depreciation key, what is the depreciation key? See, generally I'll tell you, depreciation key is nothing but to calculation of the depreciation of the particular asset it will use. Depreciation key will help us to calculation of the depreciation. It will help us. But a depreciation key having the multiple rules and regulations, or like I can say, calculation methods and all. But generally, depreciation key will use calculation of the depreciation purpose will use. So next question is what level at what level generally depreciation key will create it? Chart of account or client level? Generally, chart of depreciation level depreciation will be created. So how will define the depreciation key? Depreciation key. The next question is how will define the depreciation key. So here it is having the multiple methods it is having. I can say base method, declining method. If I want to put as like a sequence, I can say base method and the declining method. I can say here is next is max depreciation amount. I can say max depreciation amount, period controlling, multi-level method. I can say multi-level method, right? Multi-level method and period controlling method. These all methods they will create it and link with the depreciation key. Then one of the methods, each methods will use different ways. So these all calculation methods will input it. There is another point we have. What I can say parameters few included depreciation key that will activate it. Once we create a depreciation key and will activate it, then only it will work. One thing. So next question is What is the period controlling method? Generally, they will ask. This is one of the important question actually in out of it. So what is the period controlling is important, and a day depreciation to the day also important actually. What is the period controlling method? It will work. So how the see, it will work for period controlling method simply how the depreciation will start on how the depreciation will end. This will work it. Example, how the depreciation will start, will take it. That all control will be period control in period controlling methods will be used. For example, depreciation will calculation. So I'm done to the sum of the acquisition. We have the period controls. We have one period controlling 1, 2, 11, 4, 6 different period controls. One each one it will behave the own. It will behave different pattern. So there are 3 points we can consideration. How the depreciation will start. I'm taking to the example actually. For example, I'm acquisition done. I'm done to the acquisition 05. Example 05, 07. I'm done to the acquisition 2023. So based on the period control, there are period control will be based on the period control. When the depreciation will be calculated, system will decide it. So if I'm done one of the depreciation 01, if I'm using period controlling example 5/7/23, depreciation will calculate complete period depreciation. Complete period depreciation will be calculated. The meaning from the beginning of the month, depreciation will be calculated further. One of the point actually. So there is a few cases what happened if I done to the acquisition the same date. Example, if I done, so one of the few control depreciation will be calculated from the next month onwards because current month system will leave when I done the acquisition and it will be calculated the depreciation. These two rules and the next rule also is all based on the period controls. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, we have based on that it will work. One rule it says if your acquisition happen and from the beginning of the complete month depreciation will be calculated. One rule it will say is like a when you want a depreciation will be calculated from the next month. There is another rule will calculated. It will divided as a two. Of the mean 1 month it will divided as a two. If your acquisition happen, for example, if your acquisition happen 05 and 7/2023, depreciation will be calculated from the beginning of the month. The meaning here is 017 from the beginning. Mean first half and second half. The particular period it will divided as a two, first half and second half. So in a first half, whenever if you're done any acquisition, first half I can say first half first half means like a from first date onwards, from first date to 15th. In between, if you are done acquisition, depreciation will be completed. Depreciation will be calculated. I can say complete month depreciation will be completely. Example I have taken an example. This is the example. Correct? No? Depreciation if I done 5th, depreciation complete month depreciation will be calculated from the beginning. Second thing, second half in the sense like a second half in the sense second half means like a 16th onwards, 16th to 31st date. So in between the dates, if you're done any acquisition, if you're done, depreciation will be calculated from the second half only. I can say if you have done the acquisition, for example, the date of the range or 27 to the you have done acquisition, correct? No? So sign if you have done the acquisition, for example, 20th 20/07/2023, if you're done, correct? No? In this case, acquisition have this case we're done acquisition, depreciation will calculated for a half month. Half month in the sense like from 16th onwards depreciation will be calculated. From 16th, whatever the month actually. Now this case is July. 16th onwards depreciation and then calculated. So these three conditions basis depreciation will be calculated either from the complete a month or next month onwards, half the period basis. The similarly tax depreciation calculations we have of the year, almost 180 days basis depreciation also it will be calculated. These all will control for the period control methods. We have depreciation method. In that period controlling method, it will control all the points actually how the depreciation will start. The similarly retirement also same. Opposite it will work. When acquisition happens based on the rule at when retirement also it will work actually. sometimes if you see the retirement, if you know, or if you are done to the retirement of a fifth or sixth, such a depreciation complete that current month also depreciation will completely calculated. Some cases it is not. Because of this reason, you can observe. Because of the depreciation, what you have assigned, that is that based on that it will work. Next is depreciation to the day depreciation. Depreciation to the day. The meaning here is if you see here is complete period basis it will depreciation current period or from the next period in the after period next period, but depreciation to the day wise depreciation will be calculated, no period point of view. If your acquisition happened, if you're done to the acquisition 10/7/2023 example, the depreciation will start at the same day and what's 10 it will work day wise, it will work. It will not work a period wise, it will work a day wise. Depreciation to the day, there is a checkbox, generally it will activate it in SAP system. That is one thing. Next is how many methods depreciation will calculate it. So example, there are different calculation methods we have. Right? There is another question is a different method. That is SLM and WB. One straight line method and written down value method. So straight line is nothing but based on the acquisition value, depreciation will be calculated. Straight line mean it will be depreciation will calculated straight away. What I can say is depreciation will be calculated straight away to the equal amount. Straight away, the depreciation will be calculated to the every month is the same. Next year onwards, it will not change. But if written down value method, netbook, this will change for a based on the net book value, depreciation will be calculated. For these cases, only acquisition it is equal every year. Entire life it will be equally depreciation calculated. But these cases, based on net book only, depreciation will calculate it. Okay. Next is screen layout. How many screen layout generally will use? But any sub model will use one screen layout rule generally. For these cases, for asset master purpose only, we'll use a two screen layout. We'll use two screen, one for master and for a depreciation area. So if you see example, actually, if you go example, I just want to show you in asset master itself, it divided two. It did divided as a two. It divided as a two. I just want to show you. Yes, 03. You can give it. In master itself, two parts. If you see master, except this depreciation area, this is controls separate screen layout rule template. It will control the rest of the tabs. It will control the one depreciation, one screen layout. It will be controlled. So two screen layout rules for complete asset. Then this is we call valuation. The rest for a master purpose. Master we call that purpose. We'll use it. We'll use it actually. Okay. So here I can say screen layout rule, two different screen layout rule will use it. Next is, if you see, notice here is, in asset master, what are the fields are updated once acquisition happen. So once acquisition. So at the time of acquisition, what are the fields? The other way also you can write the question is, what are the fields, what are the fields updates in a master, asset master at the time of acquisition or acquisition time. What are the fields it will update it? There are many fields it will acquisition. Many instances like a 5 to 6. I'll show you here as. Yep. If you're done acquisition, what fields it will update it? Yep. Just make a note, please. Capitalization it will update it. 1 point, and first capitalization on it will update it. Generally acquisition also it will update it. Few cases the capitalization date will not update it. That different cases. In generally, if you're not filling before acquisition, if there is no date it is existed, it will update 1, 2, 3. Next is origin. What is the vendor master you're from which vendor you are done acquisition? This is also updated. One more important thing here is depreciation start date also it will update it. Depreciation start date will update it. What is the basis? Depreciation key. What in depreciation key having the period control. That based on that it will update it. So these fields will be at the time of acquisition it will be updated. So what about at the time of retirement? What are the fields will updated at the time of retirement, right? So what are the fields will update at the time of retirement? at the time of retirement, right? At the time of retirement, there is only one field it will updated here is, I can say, deactivation field. So deactivation field means nothing but it will be completely inactive. So retirement time it will update it this way. So this is master data level. These two changes at the time of retirement, at the time of acquisition, these fields will be it will be impacted. Next question, if you're coming to that, how many ways we can run the depreciation? Generally, how many ways we can run the depreciation, right? How many ways we can run? There are 4 ways we can run it. There is 4 possibilities: one per planned, one per repeat, restart, and unplanned depreciation. So what is the planned? Planned in the sense nothing but a regular month by month. Every month. First example, period 1 for example, our guess is a April example. 1 it is completed. Next 2, 3, 4, 5 sequentially depreciation will be calculated. That is one thing. So what about repeat? See, repeat cases generally, there are, I'll tell you here is repeat cases. Repeat case, 2 situations it required. One for, if you, for example, for one case, it is if you forget it some any acquisition values, if you are included that, like if you invoices, you are included, you forget it, generally forgot it, and you are including that, including of the acquisitions. Forgot it that you are not booked at acquisition. That is one situation. And second thing, depreciation key or useful life, depreciation key or useful life. If you modify it, if you modify that impact should be impacted the particular period. Example, repeat. I'm writing to the explanation a bit side. Once again, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm doing correct. So you have run the planned run. Example, you have completed the planned run. For example, first period you have completed, and second period, first you have done. I can say first done. That is April. I can say, and the second period, second also you have completed. Third also if you completed, right? Third also you completed, and fourth also you completed. This is completely sequence wise, one period by period way you have completed, right? Now you are in a 4th period. Assume that you are in a 4th period. In a 4th period, like you have completed the depreciation, you have completed the 4th period is completed. 4th period in the sense like the date here is I'm writing as for Indian fiscal year. 4th is July. It is completed. Perfect. Right? July you have run the depreciation. So in a July, one of the acquisition entry, if forgot to enter, you need to enter the date of the in a July. Example, you are entered 01, you are 01 or 01/07/2023. You have posted acquisition of the entry, whatever the amount actually you have dash 90 by using, you have posted the amount. So this case, what will happen? You need to enter here, you need to depreciation also need to calculate it for the 4th period. That is you have your desire. So that's the reason you are entered the back date 17/23. You are entered. This is one case. Next case, you have realized that. Next case is you realized that there is a depreciation key wrongly calculated or like something whatever you are wrongly assigned or useful life you want to modify it. These cases also you want to done it like in the here. What is the date here? In the 7th period only. In a July month only and 4th period only you need to done it. Correct? So you have modified the depreciation key or useful life you have modified. If there will be the impact on the depreciation calculation. There is impact on depreciation calculation. Example, depreciation calculation. This is close to it will work for a smoothing catch up, that different story. But the coming to the here same thing. Either this situation or this situation, right? This situation you need to be run to the repeat run. You need to run for one thing here is repeat run. You need to be run that. So when you run the repeat, so repeat is that there is a limitation to run the repeat run. Okay. Repeat run you can run only very latest period only. Very latest period only we can run depreciation. Is it right? Latest period only we can run the depreciation. Sorry. Very latest period only we can run the repeat depreciation. Repeat run we can run. Right? So here is very latest means like a fourth period only we can run the latest period. So fourth period will run the repeat run. These values it will pick. It will be completed. So you are trying to repeat. You are trying to repeat run for a third period or second period, first period. It will not work. Only very latest period only repeat run. Repeat is something you have missed it for a very latest. You are fulfill this from the repeat only. That is one thing. Restart now something it is bit calculate. I mean, what I can say, technical stuff because of situation. There is a functional one of the situation also. Anyway, the next is unplanned depreciation. We'll discuss. So unplanned depreciation is nothing but is a somewhere we missed to the by we have missed the calculation of the unplanned depreciation. So where is the situation you have missed, for example, fourth period till fourth we are perfectly we are run it. Somehow we missed like fifth period. We missed fifth and sixth period example. Fifth and sixth we missed it. Fifth and sixth we missed. Right? We missed it. We realized on a seventh period. The seventh period we need to be run the depreciation. By the time seventh period you realize it need to run the depreciation for our old periods also. So by the time you have done to the period and calculation, I can say all the periods also you have closed it actually. Period and activities also you have closed it under call. Now it is not possible to open. For example, what you can do, seventh period by using unplanned depreciation, you can run it all the 3 months, 5, 6, 7, 3 periods depreciation will be calculated at the seventh period only. So where the not possible to run the depreciation planned, where the miss to the planned depreciation by using unplanned depreciation will run it. So this is way, these ways we can run the depreciation. Planned, repeat, and restart. I can say like here is unplanned depreciation. This is one thing. So next question is, do we have the depreciation for the sub-asset? We know what sub-asset, main asset and sub-asset main asset will calculate the depreciation that we know. Are we going to calculate the depreciation for the sub-asset also? Yes, we'll use it actually. Next is and next period end activities. Generally, period end activities is nothing but for asset accounting. Depreciation to run as regularly. Depreciation every period we need to. ASKB period end process that we need to be. Differences will be posted for all the depreciation data. ASKB we need to run it. So coming to the year-end activities of the asset accounting, depreciation 12th period need to completed one, ASKB need to be completed one, and ABST2 reconciliation between to the asset account to the finance we need to complete it one. Next is asset fiscal year. If you want to open and close, that is we need to do, and balance carry forward. These activities of the year-end activities. The last one I can say asset accounting one, data migrations, how it will done. So simple way, 2 steps will done. Step 1, step 2. 2 ways we can do it. One step number 1, asset masters and asset values will be updated by using T code AS91. Then step okay, this is one level it will only asset values will updated here. Next is what asset related finance values mean. GL account level asset related GL values how to be updated by using FB50 LSMW. Generally we'll use created LSMW that will upload by uploading of the value GL accounts of asset related. Those are reconciliation account. We can't upload directly. There is another method to upload, but generally what we do here is we'll deactivate the reconciliation account type for acquisition and accumulated depreciation accounts purpose. OAMKT code outlet will deactivate it. We'll deactivate it, and then we'll upload it to the transactions. We'll upload it to the transactions. Once you upload it to the transactions by using LSMW, right? Then we'll reactivate it to the particular what I can say. The functionality will reactivate it. Just I'll show you here is just I want to show you OAMK, right? OAMK. If you see here as go, right? So take any one of it. I can say like any one of it. See these many reconciliation account accumulated and accumulated account acquisition accounts we can. There's the right side, it is having to the asset recon account type. If you want to deactivate it, what you can do, keep it blank and save it. Once uploaded to the transaction, we'll come back, select assets and click on. That's all. System will accept it to upload it. So that's all for the interview questions for it. Okay. Thank you everyone for supporting. Okay, thank you.